Hello everybody, my name is Taylor Davis and welcome to our auction of this beautiful 2012 Jaguar Xkrs. This is our first auction on Pcarmarket. We are extremely excited to be partnering with such an awesome site. What I like to do, and we've sold cars before on other websites, so we are Davis Automotive Group. We are BMW Cleveland and Jaguar Land Rover Solon, located here in Solon/Cleveland, Ohio. What I like to do for these videos is obviously, we have our photographer who is videoing me right now. Thank you for videoing. She takes some great photos. And then also I like to do a video walk around because I think, what would I want if I was purchasing a car online sight unseen, which I've done many times. Some successful, some not so successful. So hopefully the person who's buying this knows exactly what they're getting, and I want to be very transparent about what we've done and all that good stuff. So with all that being said, let's get started, start walking around the car. All right, sorry if you see a little skip there. We are in our detail department right now, so there are gonna be some noises in the background. Apologize for any background noise, but that's why if there are any interruptions, that's where they're coming from. So this is a 2012 Jaguar Xkrs. For those of you that do not know, the Xkrs was kind of the pinnacle of the XK. The XK was Jaguar's sort of long-standing sports car. Started with the XK8 back in sort of the late 90s, and then obviously culminated here in 2012, but also all the way to 2015, which was the last model year production for the XK. So the XK to me was always the sort of pinnacle of Jag. It offered grand touring sort of characteristics, but also, it was fun to take down a back road. And 2015, unfortunately, was the last year that they made it, obviously to be replaced by the F-Type. So I sort of set out, and I am lucky enough to be part of the ownership group of Jaguar Land Rover Solon, and I had wanted an Xkrs for a long, long time. Finally found this one up in New York, and have had it for, I think it's around 6 months. Didn't get a chance to drive it a ton just because the weather here, and normally I would do a driving video, but we can't do that because it's like dumping snow outside. But all that being said, bought this car, and the reason we're selling it is just because we have other cars and I just don't have the time to drive it, and it deserves to be somewhere warm, somewhere it's gonna get driven, and be somebody's sort of really special toy. So the 2012 Xkrs it debuted in 2012, and it was sort of the ultimate XK. So just to walk around the outside here, so you have French Racing Blue, which is an Xkrs only color. Actually, sorry, also came on the XFRS, if you're familiar with that vehicle. And really, really the only color to have this car in. It pops, it was the color on all the press photos and everything. So starting from the front, we have a completely unique front bumper for the RS. You have the RS badging here. You have this carbon splitter piece down here. And you actually have these cool sort of like tunnels, these vents in here. Walking around the side, you have blacked out trim. This car actually has some different hood louvers. These are from, I believe, Mina Gallery out in California, and they do sort of like carbon parts and stuff, so they're nice little touch. You got specific XK. These wheels actually, I believe, could be had on the XKR, but these are the dark finish, which are really nice. And then walking around the back, you obviously have the fixed wing in carbon fiber, which is very, very cool. The original third brake light was up there. Now it's mounted in the tail light, or sorry, the spoiler. You have a carbon rear diffuser, and these. The pipes may look the same as a normal XKR, but the sound that comes out of them, it's not normal at all. This car sounds unbelievable. This is kind of the first car that I remember, with this AJ, 5-liter V8 sounding ridiculous, which now we all know with the F-Types, but this one was, one of the louder vehicles I remember. So this is a facelift XK. So what you see here is we have the LED tails. So you have full LED turn signals, brake lights, all that good stuff. And then if we look at the interior really quick, as we're talking about the Xkrs, you got distinct Xkrs sill plates. You got special, so you could get these seats in the XKR, but not with this sort of carbon leather finish, which extends over to the door as well. It's kind of this carbon look. I really like it in person. Oh, you obviously have full leather here, and I'll show you this a little bit more when we look at the interior, but just wanted to talk, sort of about the, specific Xkrs parts. So you also get this special trim, it says RS there, obviously says RS under the steering wheel. So when we got this car, it was in very good shape, and it's pretty low mileage. As you can see, it's got around 23,500 miles, I believe. And it didn't need a ton, but we are a dealership that I want the product to be representative of what we believe in. And also, I just can't do it any other way. I don't know any other way. The car has to be perfect. So it had Pirelli P0s on it, which I believe was the OE tire, but tire technology has moved on since 2012, 2013. So this has a brand new set of Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires, which in my opinion is the best tire on the market. And it's in OEM sizes, which 295, 30, 20 in the rear, and 255, 35, 20 in the front. You know, we got those tires because I felt that they were the best. Brand new OEM rear pads and rotors. The front pads and rotors have been done pretty recently. Plenty of life left on there. Oil change, cabin filter change. The suppressor for the third brake light. When the car came, the third brake light wasn't working. It was just the suppressor for the electronic signal being sent to the taillight, so the taillight works perfectly now. Trying to think if there's anything else I'm missing. Had one of the wheels refinished, just had a slight bit of curb damage, so refinished that. The front splitter was scratched, so we ended up replacing it. You know, looks much better. I think, you know, it's gotta look right? Had the car fully paint corrected and ceramic coated as well. And there were a couple sort of little spots that had a little, you know, it had some rock chips because the car does not have paint protection film. So we got brand new OEM French Racing Blue touch-up paint, which Jaguar actually is nice. It's got like a needle applicator. So we just touched up a couple spots. Can't even see, the car looks honestly immaculate. There's nothing sort of to report from there. I'm saving one thing that we did for last. So actually, if you want, let's take a pause here and come meet me in the interior. Yes, peace and quiet. Thank God. This car really actually is very quiet to drive around. It's a lot more drivable and a lot more comfortable than an F-Type is to me. And these seats I love. These are like, you know, early F-Types had these seats. Now they sort of cheapened them out. But, you know, these seats are awesome. They have inflatable side bolsters. You know, this bottom seat part will actually slide out independent of the seat. So if you're somebody who likes to sit a little bit more reclined, that's nice. You know, we do have full leather here. And again, this interior was only available on the Xkrs. So what you have is you have this French Racing Blue stitching, you know, down here, goes down here. On the seats, you have the blue stitching in addition to the blue piping. So, you know, really sort of spices the interior up. You have the piano black trim. The thing about these buttons on Jaguars is some of the soft touch plastic will start to deteriorate. Not here. Everything is perfect, feels good, nothing's sort of scratched. We do have the Bowers & Wilkins sound system as well, which is nice. Satellite radio as well. Kind of a good blend of having enough tech, but not too much tech. So let me get back to what I was saying about the biggest thing that we did to this car. The biggest thing we did to this car, because I'm a psycho and I couldn't handle it, when I got in the car, something was brushing my head the first time I got in it. And I was like, what's that? The headliner here was sagging. So this is a full leather headliner. You know, I think you could get it on the normal XKs, but it was standard on the RS. You have this beautiful stitching here, sort of runs all over. I'm a sucker for any sort of cool headliner. So this was sagging, had to get it fixed. So I just ordered a brand new OEM Poltrona Frau leather. That's the company who does the leather. And it came directly from Jaguar and we installed it. So it's got a brand new headliner. So honestly, this car does not need anything. It's ready to go. It's been maintained. We, you know, got it up to the spec that we feel comfortable with. And, you know, just to talk a little bit about this car, because I do have, you know, limited seat time in it. It's a car that you could use really every day if you wanted to. It's a special motor. It sounds unbelievable. The car gets so many looks, which is funny because I feel like in its time, you know, in its day, the XK was sort of, you know, looked down upon or something like that. But, you know, now, you know, people just really go nuts over this car and the color. You know, dynamically, definitely got to be ready to catch any sort of slide because it does have, you know, a lot of power going to the rear wheels, 550 horsepower, and active diff helps, but, you know, definitely got to be ready for that. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really to talk about, but, you know, oh, one other thing which you'll see in the photos, actually, you know what, I'll meet you in the trunk and let's look at some of the stuff this car comes with. All right, so sitting on the back here of the Xkrs, my new bench seat, I don't really know what I'm doing here. Maybe I'm starting a trend. But so what we have is we have all the manuals and books and everything. This even has the original barcode that they put on it from the factory. We have the owner's manuals, we have the nav DVD, we have some tire stuff. but then also we have the bag for the C-Tech system. So it's in the pictures. Oh, and here's a touch of paint I mentioned. So here, let me just move all of this out of the way real quick, and we can look and see under here. So, whoops. So here's the C-Tech charger that was installed. I believe it was at the cost of like $1,500. So it's a professionally installed trickle charger, so you never have to worry about your battery going flat. And that's something that's nice, especially, you know, if you're not planning on driving this car every day. Something nice about the XK as well, I mean, you have a decent amount of luggage space. I mean, it's definitely a usable car. So I think that's probably gonna do it. Unfortunately, like I said, we can't take it for a drive because it's got like, you know, probably 3-4 inches of snow on the ground. And as much as I would like to go take this thing and slide around, never seen salt, not gonna see it on my watch. So with all that being said, thank you very much for watching. Happy bidding. If you have any questions, just feel free to post below and I'll be sure to answer what I can. But I'm not gonna end this video without leaving you with an exhaust clip. So I'll get a quick exhaust clip and then we'll be good. Thank you, everybody.